Welcome back, guys. You know what? The desk gave a lot of good stuff for us, Josh, but we're hopping into game 2. We have both these teams swapping over, and I gotta say, guys, the desk has been hounding Mazel in his name. Let's call it right. It's Mazel. You know, I'm gonna be the big man.
Gazelle?
I got you, bro. It's not Gazelle. Come on, guys.
Also, just a quick shout out to TJ. I closed my closet. Your hiding place is safe. As we get into these bans right now. So I really like the threat overload composition that we saw from the Academy team previously, but it also got shut down really hard by the Kindred like we saw from Kiami. So we're seeing a fairly different draft already. No Yone, no Seraphine last game, no Rel either. But we might see a little bit of a change here now that Seraphine does have some of her first impact on this draft. And I just want to give a quick heads up for some of the other games that are happening off stream. Supernova is currently leading Cloud9 1-0, and in Blaze currently leading Conviction also 1-0.
All right, you know what? We'll have to see which one's going to be going in because that's going to be the upper semifinals coming in here. But I want to actually shine some light in this draft as we're already going straight through. We have the Pantheon getting locked in, and then we take a look at the bans that What Not Academy team already threw out. Kali was the one that Dimitri brought up that Chim was really good at, and I like that they did remove that off the table.
Yeah, I also like this Gragas coming through for the Not Academy team. It's really good into the Kindred, and it does potentially lead itself into these other threat overloads. But already with the Pantheon coming through, very powerful gank setup, very powerful stat checking champion. Also has effective invulnerability for a couple of seconds every single time that he goes in for a quick fight. So we're seeing a much brawlier composition already coming out from ANEW.
Ooh. Yeah, now we see the Pantheon going to be flexed around in some of the solo lanes on the support side. Just as up though, Josh, that the Gragas can also be flexed in. Well, Gragas can still be flexed in some of these solo lanes, but Hecarim getting locked in for Winston against Hayami. You know, game 1 was a game of the marksman and the jungles. I think this game we're going to be hopping on 4 legs because it's a deer versus a horse, and we've been through this battle before. The question is who's going to get out on top again in this game.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that it's pretty natural as well for Gragas to potentially come through for Zeyzal down in the bottom lane, having an opportunity to actually play that and just providing the crowd control necessary and the space for Kaisa to jump in. We are getting word that the missing ban for Not Academy team is actually going to be Aatrox.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. It was banned in game. It was banned in game 1 against Chim from Not Academy team. Is just a pretty solid champion overall. You know, even though Gorgian got nerfed, he's still a dang menace, especially when we look at both these competitions. They're going to be in melee range for sure. Don't want someone to just go for full on heal when they're low health and get a bunch of health back. So I like that ban go overall. But Not Academy team, and they're sticking to their guns. They're sticking with the Apollo on Kaisa and Zeyzal on that Alistar.
Yeah, and it does mean that this Gragas does have to go into a solo lane at this point. I mean, I guess they could put Hecarim up into the top lane, what has been something we've seen off and on, but it's traditionally good against things like the Aatrox, and Aatrox is gone, and it doesn't particularly do well into the Ornn historically. So definitely going to be looking like Tuesday is going to be my guess to actually be playing this Gragas, simply because Gragas isn't able to push around Ornn heavily enough on their own up in the top side. Yeah,
I haven't seen a Gragas mid in a hot minute. I mean, it could go top. Double could be the one piloting it. I don't think I've seen any Gragas mid since like way back when. So if it is Tuesday piloting, that's going to be a pretty cool thing. Maybe we see Delclub on the Hecarim top. I don't know, man. They could be flexing anything. I'm down for it. But so far, taking a look at a news draft here, looks like they do have the Pantheon. Actually, it's kind of unique here. I'm trying to think of where the is going to be. The Maokai support, that's what it is. Okay, all right. I'm digging it.
I always forget that that's a thing that it can do.
I'm digging it now. Imperial Mandate made him viable in the support role, so that means that it's going to be short hop on Lucian and John on that Maokai. Last going to be picked is Victor here for Tuesday. So, you know, game 1 was a bunch of flexing going around. This one, I think Academy team's down to flex too. We'll have to see where they all go.
Yeah, I remember like the old Kleptomancy Victor used to be really good into Ornn back in the day, so it was something that used to be played top lane, but that kind of like Qmax build hasn't been good in quite a while, so it does say to me that this Gragas is going to go top lane, and you know, Gragas does have some cool things going for it. One, you know, there's like a group of champions that have always been kind of problematic in the top lane, and these are champions with manaless wave push, shields, and or sustain, so you're looking at things like Urgot, Rumble, Gragas, right, and the Volibear as well, who do all these things rather effectively, where your opponents don't have a whole lot of tools to really get back onto them. And what's surprising?
Oh wow, where we? I see your face, Josh. You.
I'm looking at you. It's just like, why am I surprised? What am I looking at? This looks pretty normal.
You know, what I'm surprised about is that Dokla's rocking the Gragas top. That's what I'm surprised about. Yeah. Honestly, okay. Apparently, you went.
I thought we were on the same page here.
You know what? I apologize. You know, I guess we are on the same page. Gragas. My thing is that Dokla's playing Gragas. I usually see him on a carry. Interesting to see how well he's going to be doing on the top side. I mean, I wonder what the atomization is going to be too. That's where it gets kind of curious.
That's a good question. We'll have to look into it a little bit more as the game starts to get going. Now, I am rather surprised and pleased with the fact that both Tuesday and Apollo are going to be picking up the cleanse, because there's a couple of point-and-click crowd controls coming out from ANEW that you do really want to be able to avoid between the Pantheon and the Maokai. And obviously, the sleep as well coming out from Yami. If any of these things get on top of you, you need to have that extra mobility of just being able to move during those couple of seconds, because there's so much crowd control on ANEW that they can really burst out individuals quickly.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a smart move picking up those cleanses here, but it's still. I think this game has now changed a little bit here. Taking a look at ANEW Rising, we have Hayami on Lilia. He's played it very. Probably was the jungler in the scouting ground circuit who played it very sparingly compared to everyone else across the amateur scene here. So have to see how he pilots here. Raibo on that Pantheon too. He's been a guy who's played assassins. He was known as the Z1 trick, so I like him picking up this Pantheon, making sure he's able to help out Hayami as we already load into this game right now. Have to see what ANEW Rising can do going into this game too.
Well, pretty standard fan coming out from both teams to start, but they're also committing some early wards. And interestingly enough, it looks like both John and Hyami don't even pick up the wards at the beginning because they don't want to risk giving over any of that experience. They just start right away with the sweepers. Which, if they find, again, they find these wards and they hit them with the solo laners, can give them level 2 off of the first wave, but doesn't look like they're going to have an opportunity to do that particularly effectively, and unfortunately it doesn't have a large enough effect in the bot lane to get them level 2 particularly early.
Come on, John. Just activate the sweeper. Right there, man. Just hit the red button. Hit it. He's not going to hit it. Darn it.
He's not going to hit it.
He's not going to hit it. He is throwing saplings over the wall. So he might be. They do know what's going to happen. It's actually a late invade coming in. This is a little bit explosive, Josh. We'll have to see as the blue buff does get started for Hyami and them. No one pulling the trigger as of yet. I think level 1s, though, should be in favor for ANEW Rising, depending on how well everything else plays out. But this blue buff is going to be going back into it. Yeah, they're still going for a push and pull. Retreat hasn't been called as of yet. Short up's going back to lane. Both these junglers and the supports are just holding hands around this blue buff, playing the game of who gets it first.
Yeah, I don't think the situation necessarily got better for Winston Tuesday. I think they are going to still have to give over the blue buff, and that's where you're seeing Winston actually going over to the Wolves to hit level 2, and if he does it quick enough, he might be able to get back to the blue buff, but he didn't commit to the line fast enough, and Tuesday instead just gets bullied around in the mid lane.
You know, Spear's hurt. Tuesday might have to call for an early reset. He doesn't have that teleport for him as well, so he's probably more than likely forced to stay in the mid lane until Winston can show up and help out his fellow mid laner. But I definitely like what Robob is doing, being aggressive, making sure that he's able to just pin down Tuesday, and then from there, help out Hayami in the jungle.
For sure, and you got to be very careful with this Hecarim, because if it gets put too far behind too quickly, it'll really struggle. And some of its itemization got her on this patch as well, with the Trinity Force getting some of its AD taken out and instead given over to Haste. So Winston does need to be a little bit careful, likely going to be going towards that Divine Sunderer these days. And with the number of tanky members coming on the other side, especially between Chim and John, you should be pretty happy with that itemization anyway.
Does max health damage, so I definitely like the way if Winston were to pivot here. Speaking of itemization, though, Dopplet did manage to go into it. And as we take a look at both junglers on screen, they're taking each other's camps. They're taking their respective camps. Yami is spotted, of course. Early reset coming in for Chim. 4 legs on the map. I think Mazel will be really happy. I'm sorry, Gazelle. You know, I'm going to lean into it.
For sure. But this might be dangerous, right? Because considering Winston never got his own blue buff, his clear is a little bit slower, and now he might be a little bit late. If Lilia chooses to go directly from the top crab to the bottom crab, we might see a bit of a fight that isn't particularly good for Winston through this entire thing. But Tuesday going to be pushing the wave out. Does need to be careful because Hyami is chilling up there on the top side of the map, and they did not see him go into his own jungle.
Fear gets thrown from Robbie Bob. Tuesday's just going to back off, knowing that John did get spotted on a ward, so not too much of a threat outside the way, being in a pretty bad position overall. As now we see both the jungler and a support from Not Academy squad return to offer their mid laner some support. So far, from minute 1, this game is all about where the jungle support is going to be moving. As Robbie Bob finds a small little opening on a Tuesday. Going to be chunking him out a little bit here. Activates the E. Tuesday falling pretty low. Forced to use a flash. Snipe comes through, and goddamn, that javelin's going to hurt.
Yeah, this is why Pantheon gets banned a lot. He is very strong. He does a lot of damage, and he scales reasonably well with the new itemization. And with so many members chilling around the lane, it actually just gets better for Pantheon because he has the gank set up for other people, and now they're getting caught.
Yeah, Zay's already getting ignited down as Jonathan forces the flash from Zazo. Shortop's going to dash in with that relentless pursuit. Apollo's forced to flash too, and yo, ANEW Rising. Game 1 was nothing because they're coming back with a lot of aggression.
Yeah, this is not good coming out for the Not Academy team. They are really a team that is going to continue getting stronger as the game goes on, but they've given up so much early power in their draft in this game that they might not even have a chance to get there. The only lane that's winning is the top lane, where Dokla has been pushing around Chim, but is losing a lot of the lead simply due to the way that the back timings have worked out.
Yeah, well, let's see what Chim and them can do. So far, though, I think if we take a look at Chim and Dokla, I think it's honestly really good. They're just able to just chill here, especially against Dokla. Not really a Chim that will probably kill him in the later stages of the game. Probably just bullies him out with the amount of base damage and ability power that's already built in. Dokla's kit is going to have to back away from the wave, though, as it's in a pretty bad position so far. But I like what I definitely appreciate what ANEW Rising is doing in this game, playing with a lot more aggression.
Yeah. Well, look at where Chim's wave is right now and where Winston is hanging out. This is
like game 1, man.
Yeah, this might be another situation like game 1. He comes over the wall now and only level 5, but he does have the devastating charge.
I had to flash away, but it's not gonna matter. He's pushing the big red meatball up to the. But you know what? If you're gonna show up top side, let's go back to game 1 because when Winston shows up top, Hyami gets an opportunity to take the dragon. That's gonna be first Drake for them.
Yeah, this is the thing that they weren't doing the first game, right? Like, they weren't able to pick up these dragons when Winston shows top lane, and Tuesday actually being forced to commit the ultimate in the mid lane means that Robbie Bob isn't going to have an opportunity to be aggressive against him, but it also means that he has an opportunity to freeze, and with so many members of ANEW chilling out, Tuesday going to have to back away once again, and so far, ANEW looking a lot better this game than they were the first time around. They have a small gold lead. They're doing all right in 2 of their lanes, and only Ornn, who's going to be relevant pretty much no matter what as the game continues to get later, is behind. But he's not even as far behind as he was in the first game.
Now this is where I'm just wondering for Not Academy, like off of the early game fiasco that happened, along with the the 2 kills that happened in the mid and bottom side, that maybe they're just being a lot more tempered and they're just being a little bit they're being intimidated from ANEW Rising. I mean, I would, especially with Pantheon in the mid lane. So I personally think though that they are doing a good job making sure they're just taking the farm, playing this relatively slow, and just slowing down any sort of aggression of what ANEW Rising is going for. Because they definitely have to wait over the power spikes as Hyami is hugging around the mid lane against Tuesday. Flash comes through, has to cleanse away. Good gravity field comes through, but Hyami's gonna flash forward too. He's on a turret. That's 2. That's 3. The 1-for-1. Robbie Bob takes a 2nd kill.
Yeah, that's good for Robbie Bob, but I definitely don't think that they needed to die there. So overall, could have been a bit cleaner, but still going to be pretty happy with the situation when all is said and done. Going to be giving another kill over the Pantheon, and now he can start to roam around, right? Like, this is one of those lanes where you're not necessarily looking at taking the lane, or you're not worried about taking the turret early, because Robbie Bob's Pantheon can be very active on the rest of the map, and as he's now level 7, we can start looking at these side lanes where he can start setting up these fights for everybody else, and he's chilling up towards the top side, and Dokla needs to be careful.
Yeah, he's already moving up. Dokla's going to push Chim under the turret, but he's going to dash away right here. Dokla, he has to see if he take Chim down, but Rybob's already here, man. Call of Fortune comes through. Dokla cannot survive this at all as Chim slams the Ornn horn in his face as Dokla falls down, and ANEW Rising gets their 4th kill.
Yeah, very greedy, very, very greedy overall from Not Academy team, and not respecting this Pantheon is really starting to hurt them pretty badly, and it's difficult for them to actually come back, as this is definitely a situation where they want to hold on and just not do anything for a while, but they don't have a whole lot of choice in the matter, because Pantheon's got this point-and-click stun.
Gosh, that's like you telling us whenever we play normal games,
Don't
like,
fight.
guys, stop fighting. Well, just chill. We're good.
But Josh, we
doing?
can't. They have point-and-click crowd control.
Yeah, they have flash and they have a W, man. What do you want me to do? Let him
Well,
cross the
he
wave?
can only engage a fight once every 5 minutes. What do you want? He's only got one flash.
You know, you'll have to see if Not Academy team can take your lessons, man. You're a big script writer. You tell them to not fight. I don't know, man. Some young bloods coming in. They might be forced to fight. I'm being honest.
Yeah, they're going to be moving first to this objective, and without ultimates coming from Chim, they should be able to pick it up, especially because both Hyami and John are on the opposite side of the map, and so they are going to be getting themselves a little bit back, and so they might be able to find opportunities to pick up some of these objectives, but they do got to make sure they pick up the Herald, and yeah, Winston's going to be able to grab that for themselves. I've seen this too many times, well, where a team goes in, they do the Herald, and they're like, oh wait, the thing we came for? Yeah, we don't need that.
You might as well take something off the table, at least, you know. I think that's a big thing for Not Academy, given benefit of the doubt that hopefully they get some gold back. A lot of people are in the jungle for New Rising, though. Apollo does not know that they are around the corner. Yo, he has no idea. Does he have something tossed over?
Oh, he did. There's no way he was
John.
looking at it.
I don't think he was, but John's in vision. John's by himself now.
But they
John's
don't know
in
where
a very hard
Yami
spot.
is. He went the wrong way.
Oh, John. Yo, he's walking through the turret. He gets knocked in. He gets splash pulled. John, can you make it out? No, he ain't making it out. He ain't making it out. He was playing with a lot of stuff, man. He was like trying Metal Gear Solid, man. I respect that, but the exclamation mark popped up, and then he got came down.
That was so funny.
If only he didn't toss a sapling over and walk around the corner, he would have been fine, man. Let's be honest.
I mean, didn't he blast cone himself over the wrong wall? Like,
no. What happened was Apollo auto attacked that and knocked him over the wall.
Well, we got a replay.
Oh.
I thought Kaisa was out of range. I thought John just did this to himself. Hold on, we'll find out.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Is it Apollo?
Yeah.
Oh, it is Apollo.
Yeah,
it is Apollo. Okay. So it's a good play. It's not just a John mistake. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, it was a mistake for him to throw a sapling and walk over before he went down. Maybe
but he
also
also didn't have the information, right? He didn't know where Apollo and Zazel were. So, there's a lot going on. But anyway, we got another dragon on the map, and we don't see items coming through. And we notably see that Winston not going for the Divine Sunderer like we initially expected.
Oh,
he just wants to burst out some of these squishy members with the Trinity Force right away. You got to be careful for Apollo. Look at the amount of damage he's able to take from Short Hop just with a quick piercing light.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough matchup for Kaisa, honestly, against Solution. So it's really good to see Short Hop play something aggressive. Winston is going to go aggressive onto Robbie Bob. Winston is going to see if he can go right in, but he goes right around the shield, jumps on a Robbie Bob. Tuesday's going to fall down relatively low, but that's a good old shutdown for Tuesday in the mid lane. So definitely something well needed for the Not Academy squad.
Yeah, at the same time, the Mountain Dragon goes over to ANEW, which means that we are on... What map are we on? Are we on Infernal?
We are on...
No, we're on Cloud. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. You don't have the little... Oh, you do have the little things on the map. There are, like, the circles. I'm just blind. Don't worry about it. Well, yeah, you can see, like, around the red buff in the northern quadrant, like, there's a very clear circle. But it's subtle. It's subtle on the map.
All right.
I guess, the Infernal is, like, very not subtle.
You need those anime glasses that you had with Riv on that broadcast to make sure you're seeing things correctly. And once those things light up, we'll be good. John and Dokler are doing the same exact thing. Paul Forshot gets used. Yami's gonna fall down real low. That's an AP Gragas with Night Harvester, but Rybob is gonna take that kill. Both these teams are doing the same exact things. It's interesting.
Yeah. It feels like you say I'm the scriptwriter, but this just feels lazy, right? Just copy paste. Don't copy my homework, man.
I got you.
Make it look a little different.
Dokler's like, I got you. I'll make something a little bit different. I'm a top laner. That's the gigantic change. Not the support. I'm a top laner.
True, and even previously when it was Tuesday and Dokla both getting caught out on the top side, it was different members, right? It's like, so you just make it look a little different. You don't need to do that much. It's not plagiarism. It's just inspiration, right?
I remember I was reading an article about plagiarism, and it only says plagiarism it's plagiarism if that person gets caught, and that's where a lot of question marks are blinking in my head. That this academic journal or someone of academia stated that, and that's what was kind of crazy. But taking a stab at the game though, Josh, 14 minutes in, not a lot has changed outside of some small little shenanigans from opposite side lanes in the opposing jungle. A lot of vision being dumped on the bottom side, so it looks like ANEW Rising is looking to push for Soul Point right now.
Yeah, and Robbie Bob has an opportunity to start looking around, right? You want to make sure that you do a lot of your plays slightly before any objectives actually spawn, as we see Dokla, he's actually starting to take a lot of damage from Ornn. He does a lot of damage at this point in the game, and Dokla, with only the Night Harvester, isn't really able to consistently get through a lot of the resistances that this Ornn has built up for themselves. So it's going to be a bit difficult. This is kind of why I wasn't thrilled about the Gragas going top lane. Even if they weren't 0-2, they would start having a lot of trouble in the lane at this point.
Yeah. Night Harvester and ANEW City Boots wouldn't be doing too hot, especially against Shim, knowing he already has a Sunfire Aegis for himself. Able to sit there, burn Dokla down. But right now, we see an aggressive play coming in from ANEW Rising as they're looking to push for this bottom outer turret. They're going in, but Zayzo actually goes in for a good two-man headbutt pulverize. Winston's already backside. Winston coming in too with a great onslaught of shouts to catch down Hayami. One of the four legs coming in, but here comes Bob on the backside. See if he can take down Winston, already falling down from the Pantheon himself. Tuesday has to get the heck out of dodge from the bottom side river, but Short Hub and John are hunting. They're going to back off. It's only a 1-for-1 after that bottom side play.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's okay for both sides, right? It really comes down to the fact that they don't see Winston and Tuesday until it's too late, but they're still able to do enough damage to Winston through this entire thing, because you see that he goes in very deep and also gets caught by all the damage from Pantheon basically all at once. So they're able to burst him out pretty effectively, and because it's so early relative to the Dragon, not a whole lot more happens other than the fact that Short Hop is going to take down this turret, which was already pretty close to going down anyway, but it does set them up for success rather soon, because they will have some item spikes in their inventories before the fight starts, whereas Tuesday might not. Does he complete his item off this back? He doesn't recall.
Oh, he doesn't. He picked up an early Seeker's arm guard for himself. Wonder if he actually has money in the bank right now. Interesting, though, that we do see these mythics coming in. Gale Force for Short Hop, too, to make sure he gets out of dodge, compared to the Kraken Slayer, which of course does more damage, but move speed's always fun to have, and dash is always going to be really good to do as the second Rip Choke gets started from the ANEW Rising squad. Let's see where they want to put it on this time.
Yeah, there's no plates left, so it's not as useful as it normally would be, right? You don't get the same amount of gold, so you're actually just trying to take down structures with it, or you can use it as like the distraction card effects and just like send it down. You're like, hey, you have to deal with this. Otherwise, it's going to take multiple structures. But only a couple seconds before the Cloud Dragon spawns. And once again, the NA team is there first. The teleport already being committed by Chim. They definitely want to fight for it.
Yeah, they're using the Rift mid lane, but the Dragon's already down to 3,000 HP. No follow-up is coming in as Dokla used the TP in the mid lane to see if he can hold. Does manage to make it in, and does manage to get the hold itself, as the mid outer turret is only around 1/3 of its HP left. Nature's Grasp is going to get used from John to make sure he deters him, but a great explosive cast push Hayami towards the opposing team. Actually, a 3-man coming in. This might be a big explosive play as the Cullen comes through. Hayami takes down one, and Zayzo's going to fall down as well. My God, what a turn of events for ANEW Rising around the mid lane.
Yeah, I feel like the ANEW Rising were just throwing out a lot of things to zone people away, and rather than respecting it, the NA team is trying to turn it around. And Tuesday, oh boy.
Tuesday has to make a run for it, has Siphon Power. Bob utilizing the eat so he can get to the support pass. Oh no, he misses the javelin! No, he jumps, he's fine. There you go. Killing spree for him, 5-1.
Yeah, wow. All of a sudden, ANEW Rising jumping out to a pretty large lead this game, and this Grog gets up in the top lane. I don't like it.
I don't like it either, Josh. You know, I'm with you on that party.
It makes me sad. It hasn't done anything. and they already knew what it was going up against, and they picked it anyway, and they're like, yeah, this is fine. This is all right. And now everything's kind of on fire around the rest of the map.
I'm wondering what. That's why like. I think Dokla should pick something that was a split push carry that works well into Chim. Heck, maybe pick something else can do some damage. Winston's here. They have to bring in 2 members. I mean, Chim actually can get for a good flash, explosive cast in it. But heads up, Chim is still at 50% HP. Hyami's right here. Chim is still barely alive. Finally falls down, but Rybob is now here to join the party. You hear Josh, man. This is an oh no for Not Academy. We do have Apollo coming in. Hyami's still alive. Jonathan now here to join the party. Got some bowling balls coming through and some saplings coming in and some more trees coming through to see if he can grasp anyone down. Does manage to pick up Winston. Short hop seeing if he can zone down 2 members with that Gale Force. Winston's going to fall down, man. And now ANEW Rising are definitely rising to the table because they've taken down 2 members on the opposing team.
Did you see how long it took them to kill Ord?
You know,
this
you know
is
what?
this replay.
Oh, that's cool.
Whee!
Boom.
And then there's the rest where like Tuesday slowly dies, but you know.
Yeah. that was a rising action into the drop, and then like we're waiting for the drop to end for quite a while. It's like, all right, let's just have the drop be done already, guys. Come on.
It's that long build-up. Yeah. So, the big thing is, right, like, they eventually get the kill. They eventually kill the Ord, but they lose multiple members in the process. They lose the top lane turret, and yeah, you want to be looking for these fights, but you can't afford to take them undermanned right now. You can't afford to be having fewer people on the map, and Tuesday on the far side with no teleport, you can't do a whole lot off of that. We get to see, like, Ornn survive forever. Lucian and Maokai are in mid lane right now. Pantheon is on the far side of the map, and it doesn't matter. They're able to bring all 5 members to bear because Tuesday is even farther on the map.
Yeah, and also Chim went for the exhaust on Winston too right at the beginning, so he managed to live a little bit longer. And great flash from him to just stall everything else out here. I think Short Hop manages to actually cinch the little cutoff that he does at the later half right here, where he cuts up Apollo and Winston. He gets a kill for himself, so super good stuff from ANEW Rising. Already here, 11-5 with a 4K gold lead in their pockets. Baron being up, though, it means that Winston's looking to see if he can create some action and create some turmoil coming in. I'm still just underwhelmed about this Gragas, man. I'm sad with you, bro.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do over the next couple of minutes, because, again, we're still in the major power spikes coming in for the ANEW Rising squad, and, I mean, I don't know if Dokla gets stronger from this point on, right? Like, I think he's already past his prime. At this point, he's kind of like a Lee Sin, where he's just an okay initiation tool.
He blows someone else up. I mean, that's the big thing. If he could jump on Short Hop's for sure dead. Maybe Hyami too. I mean, we saw him almost kill him in the topside jungle, and I think that was just with some components of Night Harvester. So I think that's what Dokla needs to do if he wants to find a victory.
Yeah, that just means that their win condition is narrowing, because there are a number of other people that are already going to be starting a fight that Dokla has to survive through it. It turns him into like this pseudo weird assassin thing that Gragas is not great at, right? His flanks are good, but if he gets caught, he's also just dead. So we'll see what they end up doing with it right now, because the next dragon is going to put them on soul point, and Winston's not there. They don't really have the tools to actually go for this fight, and I think we might be looking at it's too early to say right now. We definitely saw ANEW Rising get over a pretty strong lead previously, but I'm already starting to look at the spot where they might be looking at a third game, simply because of how greedy the NA team started this entire game 2 as.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. I think the draft definitely cost him for sure on Dokla, sitting there being 1-4 and not a happy top laner, as he has big carry should be, especially when he's a dedicated slip pusher for the squad. Apollo down an item compared to Short Hop too. Short Hop already has the Essence Reaver already built up, and Imperial Mandate for John. Like, it's very tough to start any sort of these fights going into this next couple 5 minutes. So hopefully they follow the script that you have implemented, Josh. Don't fight.
But they have to. There's point and click CC. Also, the Baron's up.
Okay.
Right? That's the problem.
Let's correct the script, Josh. What should we do? So, what should Not Academy team do if they want to come back, man?
Makes a mistake.
Okay, there you go. That's the plan here. Not ANEW Rising has to make some blatant mistakes for them to come back. You heard it here first from Mr. Joshua Joshi Walmart Jats Howard on the mic. Okay, just want to let y'all know.
Yeah, they can't afford to give away this Baron. And ANEW Rising knows that. And ANEW Rising also does it relatively healthy because they do have real tanks this time around. They have the Ornn, who's super, super tanky, and then they have the Maokai, who can sustain tank a lot of the Baron as it starts to go through. So it's difficult. There's not a lot of poke coming out from the Not Academy team, right? There's not a lot of things that they can just like throw over the wall to be like, no, stop that. They actually have to come around for the full fight without a true front line because Winston and Dokla are just going to go in, they're going to do one thing, and they'll be like, all right, now I'm done. Please don't hurt me. I will be back in 10 seconds when my cooldowns are back up.
Yeah, we're just going to be chilling. Right now, I do like what Not Academy team are doing. They have a pretty solid defensive line of wards around the Baron pit so far, so if ANEW Rising were to start up, it should be okay. You see the first of the mythic items come through from the ornaments. I forgot what the Gale Force turns into. Oh, it turns to Zephyr. That's what it is. Pretty sure.
It's still in the game, Zephyr.
Yeah.
It's undergone a couple of changes. You know, there's the O marker for magical.
I need to double check this. Does Gale Force turn?
Out.
Yeah. As casters, it becomes very hard to think about what the new ornaments change into, knowing that we're so used to the old ones.
Dude, did you see the tweet that a couple writers made about the Muramana upgrade?
Oh, no. What was that?
It was what was it? Okay, so it's based off of like a Japanese swordsman, so I think it turns into like the Masa...
Yeah, it's
Masazane? Something like that? Monazane is what it turns into. Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, because it's based off of like a Japanese swordsman, and like Muramasa, like Muramana, is you know, super famous historical Japanese swordsman, and it's just like, oh, let's go after one of the students and be like, wow, we're so historical. And I thought it was really cool. But anyway, this bird's getting started up, and this is the part where Not Academy team has to hope that their opponents play this incorrectly.
It's 9k in. The Baron's still pushing in 8k now on the L. Now they have vision of what the health mark is going to be, so they're definitely biding their time before the engage starts. But they have no vision of Robbie Bob, man. They could look over flank. They definitely have vision of Dokla. Dropping to 4k now. This is where the fight's going to be turning around with the Nature's Grasp. Dokla's going to be the only one coming in. But look at the explosiveness. Hayama's going to get down super low, and he's already dropping down very low. But he actually flashed the lane, still barely alive. Apollo finally hunts him down as the prey he is. But take a look at the rest of ANEW Rising. They're calling for the disengage because both junglers are now down. No one can take the Baron.
Wow. That works. That's good that you draw out the game a little bit longer for the team, and that just gives Kaisa, Victor, and this Hecarim a little bit more time to scale. And I was surprised. Dokla, he must have felt like he was caught, so he's just like, all right, let's see if we can turn it around on the economy. Almost burst in before the Zhonya's come through, but instead just going to be giving Apollo Price enough time to get around the side, take him down, and Winston diving into the back line, right? He just does the one thing, like once he's used the ultimate, he's not going to provide a whole lot of extra threat onto Short Hop or really anyone else at this point in the game with his current itemization. So that went about as well as it could have, I think, for the Not Academy squad.
Yeah, definitely want to prevent that Baron going in. And I actually want to apologize, Josh. It wasn't Zephyr. Gale Force, when it gets upgraded, becomes Typhoon. So we'll have to try and memorize that when the more this new season comes through. A lot of these names
Eclipse? What about Eclipse?
It turns to Syzygy. It's an astronomical term. I did look it up. It isn't. It's like, I forgot what it is. I think it's when the sun and the moon and the earth all line up. That's what Syzygy is. If I'm using my astronomy knowledge coming in. This is the whole point, though, Josh. As
I only use it as a Scrabble word, so I believe.
Oh, yeah. But right now, Cloud Drake did get started for just the ANEW Rising squad. Chim's gonna get tackled down. Gonna get started. Sleep's calling through, but it's gonna get cleansed right off. Rob jumps right in on the Zazel. Gets knocked up. Dragon's already fallen down. That's gonna be soul point for them. Actually, the soul for them as well as the disengage comes calling through. No one falling down though, Josh. As right now, Not Academy team are gonna be back off and going for the mid lane and potentially this mid outer turret.
Okay, all right, I dig it. This is actually not the worst thing ever for Not Academy team, right? They are going to simplify a little bit. They're going to take a couple of turrets here, so a clean fight will put them within arm's reach of actually ending the game. But more importantly, giving over the soul point here means that non-Academy team can contest for the Elder Dragon, which is way more important than Cloud Soul in this game.
Crazy how you get one of the best buffs that you can, but then the next buff comes through that could be going over to either team. So it becomes a very dangerous game for both these squads to play at a nice edge here. Baron's going to get started up, though, Josh. Now, I'm not too sure if this is the right play at all. Winston is around the corner, though.
Basil is far. So is Dokla. Dokla needs to teleport in if he wants to do anything. He needs to do it fast. He's going now.
Quick scan the Baron, but the disengage already gets called from the squad of ANEW Rising. So Baron isn't going to get completed as of this point here. So both these teams are going to be resetting themselves, making sure they're setting themselves in a position to win this game too.
Nice. Okay, so this is what I actually wanted to see ANEW do in the previous game, right? Where they pull a teleport out from Dokla or Tuesday's Akali from the last game, and then they don't fight afterwards. It's like, all right, we're just going to take resources from you. We don't need to do anything. We can look for fights when Dokla is off on the side. And now Chim can go push it out and make sure these waves are crashing and present another threat that the Not Academy team has to deal with. And with only one teleport on their team, it's not going to be easy for them to deal with some of these split pushers.
Yeah, and I definitely like the idea of 1-3-1ing for the ANEW Rising squad. Even then, maybe not even using TP, when that Robbie Bob has the grand Skyfall to jump in and join the party whenever he feels like, is honestly just a great use of a global that they can. It does mean, though, that the give and take will be that the mid priority will be slightly lost for themselves, but it also means that both solo laners from Not Academy team have to answer these side waves, as we see right now on the screen. You know, they're both answering those waves, make sure they pick up the goal.
Yeah, this is really strong play overall from ANEW. Normally, though, you want to be a little bit faster to actually get to the Baron while people are off on the side lanes, because now they're going to be able to come on back. And even though the bottom lane should slowly push towards the bottom lane side of the map, or towards Not Academy team's inner turret, it's going to take a long time. So if you want to do anything about that, it means you just have to dance here for a lot longer than you would normally be willing to.
I mean, short up's down, just fucking straight. Dokla, he's already knocking him down to pretty low health, but that means the trigger's getting pulled on Hami. Hami gets deleted right off the bat here, getting caught off guard by himself. Grand Skyfall gets used, but Rybob isn't in the back line. Forge God gets called down to see if he can knock up Tuesday. Rybob's going to go for the stun, but a good head bump onto it, but Tuesday's going to use the Hourglass to make sure he stays alive. Dokla on the backside, but he's not going to find the flank as Tuesday follows down to Chim. Everyone else from ANEW Rising are pounding down the middle inner turret and seeing if they can crack the inhibitor as well.
Okay. That looked pretty good overall from Not Academy to start, and then they lost too much health and they couldn't really stick around. Ultimately, it's going to be costing them a lot more than just Tuesday's life, because he's their primary wave player. And Short Hop, man, we haven't been looking at him so much this game, but he has been having a fantastic game 2 so far, as they do end up picking up the mid lane inhibitor and creating enough pressure for themselves in order to back away. And with 2.5 minutes left before this Elder Dragon comes up and the Baron still on the table, there are so many options for ANEW to try and play around. And
I love that you bring up Short Hop, because this man is nearly 100 CS over his counterpart. The starting of the Baron already at 10,000 health left on the board. We see Chim being the main tank. We see John being the main flank. Robbie's going to be a big flank, jumping on Apollo. Pricing is already very low. Everyone else looking to come through when it comes to the fight. Rybob's going to get knocked in. He has to flash away from the rest of the squad, but Rybob is still damn alive. Short Hop takes down Winston. It's only Dokla left. Double kill comes out of Short Hop, and ANEW Rising are looking to take that Baron for themselves.
Wow, ANEW Rising going to be in a fantastic spot to actually try and end this game. They're going to be picking up this Baron for themselves, as we see this replay come through, as Robbie Bob just goes in 1v4, does not care, almost takes down Apollo.
Look at him!
And yeah, look at all the artificial tankiness he has from that E, taking absolutely 0 damage from the rest of the squad, and then he's able to just walk away, whereas Apollo Price just lets his top laner and jungler die for it. The fact that he was slightly over, he didn't even feel like he was out of position. He was just there. Yeah. And Robbie was like, "Yeah, I don't care about the rest of your team. It don't matter. You." It don't matter, man. That's what happens when Apollo Price gets jumped on. It didn't even look like he managed to use the Killer Instinct to make sure he gets a gigantic shield for himself too. So right now, Rybob looking really good. Got the Scissor G on lock from Chim, upgrading that item for himself. And with that Baron buff and with Soul Point, with Cloud Soul in their pockets, 40 seconds left, Josh.
this is their time to set up for this Elder Drake.
Yeah, this is tough because they don't have to leave. The entire squad of ANEW Rising do not have to leave, but now there's a very small window. Like, every small window the Not Academy team can take, they kind of need to find, right? They see Short Up on the bottom side of the map. They need to find something now while he's separated from the team, because you don't have a better option coming up later. They can't find it.
Yeah, we do see him looking to force through this river right now. Winston can get chunked out a little bit, actually a good amount. Drops over the wall. He's going to dash over to use the culling as it now gets caught out. It's also Short Hop's game right now because he's looking to be in the front line. Call the force shot gets used, doesn't land on anyone. Dokla's going to turn around with a big ultimate, but Short Hop doesn't fall down at all. Dokla is going to be the one who falls because of his aggressive movements to see if he can take down the AD carry, and with one member down, that's a good opportunity for them to take the Elder Drake.
Yeah, I think this might actually be it. I've said it every single time, like, they've set themselves up well. This should be the last thing that they need to actually try to end the game. They might want to get a reset in, spend all the gold they just picked up, or they can just look for this fight. But again, Short Hop was no longer separated. They end up finding the last member, and Dokla tries to go back in to look for an assassination here, but just not enough damage. He's not very strong, turns out.
Doesn't work. Yeah, top lane Gragas, fortunately, not snowballed. Doesn't do a lot of damage, guys. But taking a look at the rest of the squad here, we see ANEW Rising cracking down the bottom inhibitor turrets with the Baron buff and with the Elder Drake. I honestly don't think that Not Academy team can come back at this point here. Being down so many of these buffs is going to cost them a lot. We already see the culling coming in. Tuesday going to get knocked, Short Up going to get knocked down pretty damn low. Winston's actually going to see if he can take down the carry, but a good little stopwatch makes sure Short Up stays alive with Jonathan, the support for ANEW Rising. Gets a double kill. Short Hop is now unstoppable. Puts a good old thumbs up in this game as they secure game 2 for themselves. And now, right now, they're just padding the KDA stats as they look to end the game.
So I was saying the Not Academy team should be looking to end this tournament clean.